Hi, it's Steffi from Steffi's Beads and Baubles, and I'm following up on last video where I told you I'd make a few pieces of jewelry from the jewelry I took apart. And then I was going to use the jewelry from the last batch I took apart, but forgot I was so efficient I put it all away. So I had a couple other things I was taking apart on a tray, so I pulled out just a few things to add to what I had. Because most of what I took apart was beads. There wasn't much I could use for pendants and stuff. So I wanted to make something that was kind of Valentine inspired, and I'd taken apart that beautiful red plastic necklace. So I thought these white plastic, but they look like ivory, but they're not. You can see there's a seam on them, but they're really neat looking, kind of look aged. And I took and I put 2 beads on there. Now I'm going to show you how I did that because I'll be making earrings too. But the difference with the earrings is I will have a flat one on the bottom. But what I did was I took the head pin and I clipped off the top. And then all I did, to show you what I did, is I just rolled it. I took my, let me get that light right here. I took my, I don't know what to do about this. This lighting situation is really getting on my last nerve. I don't know how come I have so many shadows. I took the tool, that looping tool, and I just rolled it and made a loop, kind of pulled it straight like that. And then I put the 3 beads on. Now I won't loop the top because I don't want to have 2 loops on the earring one, but this is take 2. I had to stop because I had a mistake and I had to fix it. So basically I'm going to show you what I did. I did that, and then I looped the other end to make 2 loops, and that's how it came out. Now on this one I'm going to be using a straight pin so that I have an earring that looks like this. Now I want to put a tassel on it, but I do not like that gold bead. So what I'm going to do is undo, I gotta use my regular pliers, undo this tassel from the bead. And I decided I'd use the same bead that I used for that, except I would use the bigger one to do the tassel. So I have a small, already looped bottom one. I'm out of them. Normally I have tons of these in the long ones, but I'm out. So next time I'm at Hobby Lobby, I'll have to wait till they have a sale and buy a few packages. And then I'm going to loop I'm going to open the end, and I'm going to put this tassel on there. Now you may notice one of the pieces is missing off the tassels, and I did that intentionally. I wanted to see how they would look, and I left the last one to show you. Now they had a little bit bigger, it probably is about the same. I probably could have left the one on there that was on there. But these came off of one of the pieces I took apart. And I decided to put a better looking jump ring. These are vintage from the 70s. I literally got them from somebody whose dad got them. Well, I got them from my friend back in the 90s, whose dad had bought these back in the 70s. And I had a whole pack of them. I'm down to my last precious few, but do have a few left. And they're just a nice brass color. They go good. So I put that on there, loop the little leaf on there, and then take my 2 pliers and I hold on to it with one side and then pull it with the other. And then I always make sure, this is a tip I learned, to rub them together, and make sure that they touch. Sometimes you have to, oh no, yeah, I see it. Sometimes you have to do it from different ways. Like, let me show you what I'm talking about. This is why I sometimes don't show you what I'm doing because it takes so long. But you sometimes have to go from both sides, like up and down. See, the problem is I'm getting that leaf in the way. And you're just going to rub them back and forth until they're tight. You don't want to have it open because what will happen is it will fall out of the if the jump ring's not tight, it'll come undone. So there, I put the leaves on, and now I'm going to put the big red bead on the top. You can see that ring light. Probably got my finger, yep. There's ring light reflected in the bead, but there's no, it's just solid red, and I'm hoping it looks as good as it did on the last video. These are just the most beautiful deep red. Now, once I get it on there, I'm going to take my looping tool again, and now you could do several things. You could put another bead on top. I could put a bead cap on top. Like if I wanted to put a bead cap, like I have some pretty bead caps here. I could put one underneath like this. And this is what I do is I play. Like here's a vintage bead cap off of one of the pieces. And then I put the bead on it. And then I put another one on top. Whoop, I went through the wrong spot. Gotta go down to the middle. Keeps wanting to catch on the side. This is the problem. Trying to keep it under the camera for you, which means it's harder for me to see. There we go. So see, it gives it a little more design when you do that. Now I could even put one of the small red beads on top if I wanted, like that. But I think that might be too much. So I'm going to just do this, and then again I'm going to take the looping tool. I want this to be a slightly bigger loop, so I'm going to loop it, and then I cut it, and then I pull it back a little bit, pull the end down, and I just loop it until it looks nice, pulling back at the same time. Then that's when you can take your other pliers and get in there and carefully move it over so that it looks right. Okay, now we're going to open up one end of this like this. We're going to hoop that tassel on there. And close it up. Now it will turn on you. I'm going to take my glasses off because I literally cannot see what I'm doing. Trying to keep it under the camera for you. Okay, and then that's how it came out. Let me lay it down and show you. Let me see, put it on my hand. This is how the tassel came out. And I like the age to it. Now, if you don't like stuff that looks old, this might not be the thing for you to do. Now, I don't have very many big jump rings. Now, the jump ring has to be big enough to not only fit around this chain, but fit the loop of the pendant on there and be able to move, because you want it to move easily on the chain. So what you can do if you don't have a jump ring you're happy with, you can take one of these, and you can take your looping tool if it's big enough. Now see, this one's not very big. I do have another one. Let's see. This one's a little bigger. It's a little bit different looping tool. It's got a flat side, and I do not know where I got this. I've tried to find them again. I got really lucky because I have a vintage one just like this that my husband bought me. It's a vintage jeweler's tool. But you can do this and twist it around a couple times to get it nice and tight. Like that. See? And then you just snip it. You just pick a spot and snip it. It didn't snip all the way through. There it did. Okay, and then you've got your own jump ring. Now sometimes these won't be perfectly round, but they're usually pretty good. The best way to do it is to take wire and wrap it around something the width you want, like a small dowel, and just take, you know, your crafting wire like this and wrap it 3 or 4 times around, and then take it off and snip it, and you can make several jump rings at once. I'll do that in a video at least at some point here. I'm trying to find the one I just made. There it is. Okay, and so basically I will take this, put it back onto the ring, and just kind of flatten. If you don't have this tool, you can just see it's a little bit off. So let me see. Now I know it seems weird, but I like to get it round before I open it to put the pendant on it, because if you don't get it right before, that's why I always loop my loops all the way before I open them, because if I don't, it's sometimes hard to get them to close right if you don't have it already closed. Okay, now I'm going to put it on. This beautiful chain was on one of these pieces from this week. I can't remember which, but it's a really pretty, very magnetic, so it's not gold or silver. Okay, it looks like there's plenty of room for everything to move. Okay, and get my 2 pliers and see if I can get this thing shut. And then I'll press it good. I prefer using professional jump rings, honestly. I don't like making them myself, but I can if I have to. Now this is how it looks. It's a really pretty chain. It's got that, I really need to learn my chain names, but it's got that rope. I think it might be just a rope chain. It's just beautiful. And then there's a pendant hanging on there. Now let's make the earrings. And the earrings are going to be pretty easy, because I'm just going to take a gold head pin, and it's got a bottom on it, and just pull the first bead down on it. Pull the center bead, the focal bead, and then put one more, whoop, slippery little things, there. And then that's what the earrings are going to look like. And then I'm going to take my round tool again and just whip it around. I like to make sure I get it the way I like it. And then this comes with time. You'll learn to figure out where you want to cut it in time. That one, wait a minute. I got to pull that up a little bit. I think I didn't. Yeah, there we go. I think that'll work. I'm trying to show you. And I will roll it up a little bit more, like that. If you hear any crashing, David's outside my window taking down our Christmas lights and getting all the, getting all the Christmas decorations. See, that's where I need to find out where I got this tool, because I'm telling you, this is my favorite tool, because you got the flat side to bend it with, and the it was just an online store, so I'm going to have to do some research and see if I can find it, because it really does make a difference. It's, oh, see, that didn't come out. So, okay, here's a boo-boo. It got caught, and look what it did. Now, when I was talking about how shoddily made that necklace was that I fixed up, that's what it looked like. That's what I was trying to explain to you. And the thing is, that can happen to anyone, but the difference is I won't leave it like that. I'll just cut the whole thing off and start over. By the way, I sold that necklace within a day. Somebody bought it. I don't know if it was somebody that watched the video or if it was just somebody online, but it's already off to its new home. Oh, that's a small. This one has an unusually small top. You want to get a head pin that has a nice big bottom to it, because these beads have a fairly large hole and they can go right through. See, that one's fine. But if it doesn't have a, if the head of the pin is not, so basically what I'm going to do this time is put it on my finger and push down. That's what I forgot to do last time. You know, when you're used to doing it by yourself and you're not on camera, you instinctively do things. But when you're trying to show things, it's like you kind of throws you off a little bit, because I'm having to pay attention to every little thing I do. And I don't mind, it's just I got to get used to doing it. Okay, see, if you put the pressure on the bottom, then that comes out perfect. So that's what I did wrong. There we go. And so there's the first earring, and then we get our ear wire. I don't work with gold all that much, to be honest with you. Now, sometimes it's better to open the earring than the ear wire, because I've had too many ear wires snap on me. So sometimes it's just better. Now these ear wires are really bright gold. They're the only ones I had. And they were like in a little tiny package. Okay. And I'm a perfectionist. I will tweak and tweak and tweak, and I gotta watch that. Okay, so there's one earring. Go with that. And then the other earring, we do the same thing. Find a head pin that has a head bigger than the whole of the... There we go. Now I could have scrubbed these beads. They look a little bit almost dingy, but I don't think they are. I think they're just old. But honestly, I like it. It kind of looks like ivory. It is not. It has a seam. It's lightweight. It's plastic. It's not got any marks or lines. It's definitely plastic. But it's pretty, and it's a nice quality where they smoothed out the seams as best they could. Now again, put your finger under it and press up like this. See, I've got my finger holding it like that. And now I'm going to loop it. And then I snip off what I believe will be the extra. And again, that just comes with time. You'll get to where you recognize, and you just kind of go by your eye what looks like it'll roll over. You know, the size. If it looks like it'll meet, it isn't going to be too long. Now you can always clip it again if you have to. I'm not real happy with how that one came out, but I think it'll be okay. All right, now let me get the earring, and let me open this up. And these are kind of nice because they can hang either way. I like making earrings where I don't have to worry about it facing a certain way. And there's the earrings and the necklace. And what I'll do is I will put it on my little necklace form and take a picture and put it at the end of the video so that you can see. Let me lay it down here so you can see how it looks. So that's kind of for Valentine's Day. I thought that would be fun to do. And we are at 17 minutes, so I'm going to do a couple more videos, but they're all going to be separate. So I'm going to do a couple more. I'm going to work on this lighting and see if there's something I can do. I may have to mount the camera on the light, but I don't know how to do it on this big one. I do have a smaller one. I'll just have to figure it out. But I will put a picture of this right at the end here, and then I will be back. I'm going to try to do another one tomorrow. So I have a couple in a row, and the other one's going to be a couple small projects. But each one takes about 15 to 20 minutes, so I just don't think people will watch a video that's an hour long. I just don't have good luck with that. So YouTube tells me the average person watches between 10 and 12 minutes. Or I think it's like 8 and 12 minutes. So I'm trying to keep them closer to that. So I'll do another piece of jewelry, and I'll probably sit here and do a bunch of them and just sprinkle them through the week. Just little videos. Maybe in between the other videos, because I can do probably about 10 videos off of just this stuff, and I can't do my Goodwill box till I put this away. So I will do a few other pieces, and I've got some other really, like this beautiful chain here that's just stunning. It's one of those hollow chains, and it's an antique brass. So I may get out a couple elements and make you something fun that's maybe steampunk-ish. I've got some beautiful browns scattered through here to use, and I'll maybe find a fun charm and see if we can, or maybe a little piece of a watch or something like that, and I'll do that. And I've got a little bracelet over here I was going to do, and then let's see what I can come up with. So I'll be back, and I hope you enjoyed this. I apologize for the lighting. I do not know why I'm getting these shadows, because I have a light facing each direction. I shouldn't have a shadow. It's very odd to me. So I'll work on it and see if I can get it better. But I'll be back probably tomorrow with the next piece of jewelry. And then that'd be Thursday. And then Friday will be Goodwill. Then maybe I'll do another one Saturday and another one Sunday. We'll see. I'll try to get you a few, though, in a row. So I'll be back. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, at the end of the video, there'll be a picture. Bye.